Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome to Guiding Voice podcast series. The Guiding Voice for a better future. This podcast is to help students and young professionals to shape their careers. Thank you for tuning in. This is Naveen and we will miss my co-host Sudhakar in today's show. So I'll be your solo host. Project management is a very essential function and is important for the success of any project, irrespective of the scale of the project. So dear listeners, in this episode, we will dwell into a crucial topic, careers in project management and related certifications. And we are pleased to have Seenivasan, who is popularly known as PS, as our guest today. P. Seenivasan, Director cum Senior Faculty at Proventures Education and Consulting Pvt Ltd, has more than 33 years of rich industry experience in the domains of fertilizers, petrochemicals, heavy chemicals, information technology, and software development, training, and consulting. Process and project management are his areas of passion. He has a B.Tech degree in chemical engineering from University of Madras and a master's degree in business administration from IGNOU. PS is a certified PMP, PgMP, PfMP and PMI-SP from PMI USA. He is an approved faculty to Oracle University on Primavera P6 and Oracle PPM. PS has handled many project and program management workshops across multiple industry domains that include pharmaceutical, oil and gas, manufacturing, infrastructure, government, etc. He is also an empaneled speaker and trainer for National Institute of Smart Governance and handled project management, program management workshops for more than 300 government officers over the last 3 years. Over the last 12 years, he has trained more than 5,000 professionals on various areas of project, program, and portfolio management. And that's a whopping number. Kudos to you, PS sir. So let us hear directly from PS on the project management and certifications in project management.
Thank you. Thank you so much for a very broad, too much of introduction. Let me see how I can serve you and your community of professionals and students. I'm ready. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Glad to have you here, Mr. PS. So let's get started with the project management basics. So I'd like to start with the first question. What is project management in general and is it domain specific?
Project management is all about you managing any unique initiative in a time-bound manner to meet the objectives of organizations and to deliver the benefits to its stakeholders. This profession is domain neutral, so that means every domain needs project management skill set to meet their projects. So it might come from construction, infrastructure, IT, pharmaceutical, and social-driven projects of government, public sector, and in every sphere of activity, we see the application of project, program, and portfolio management.
I think that is very clear. So you have put it in very simple terms and mentioned that it is domain agnostic. So can you share from your rich experience of training more than 5,000 professionals and having been part of various industry domains in various capacities, how did this project management evolve in the last 50 years?
Oh, that's a beautiful story, Naveen. The project management is a very, you can say, recent development. When I say recent development, projects have been done over millenniums. So to tell you the truth, God has undertaken a beautiful big project of creating the universe and within that creating the mankind. So from then onwards, we see huge projects have been done all through the millenniums. So we heard about pyramids, we hear about of the late then Taj Mahals and a lot of Greek and Roman architectures. So it's pretty old, but a formal professional approach to managing projects, I would say, is very new. It started in mid-50s in the form of something very popularly known as PERT and cPM. The PERT stands for Program Evaluation and Review Technique, and cPM stands for Critical Path Method. This marks the beginning of this particular profession, and we see that from then on, this profession is growing exponentially across the world.
That's amazing. Like, you are able to connect to the God's creation and also spoke about some of the monuments which took years to complete and all. It's altogether a very different perspective, and thanks for those insights. Now, talking about the traditional PM certifications, can you throw some light on cAPM, PMP, PgMP, PfMP, and how are they different from each other?
All right, good question. These certifications depends on the role, experience, and complexity of the projects of the professional engaged in that domain. For example, cAPM stands for Certified Associate in Project Management. This is typically meant for fresh graduates of all disciplines. When it comes to PMP, it stands for Certified Project Management Professional. So this is meant for people who are practicing project management, for which awarding institution expects a minimum of 3 to 5 years of experience in directing and managing projects. When it comes to PGMP, so this is for program management professional, those who handle multiple projects that needs to be coordinated together as a roadmap in order to deliver a big program like metro rail, airport, or some big IT implementation across a group company. These are all the candidates for program. So for which the PGMP is most suited.
I think that is very well put through with regard to starting with the entry-level certification for fresh grads. They can opt for cAPM, followed by seasoned and practicing project managers and go for PMP, and program managers can opt for PGMP. Can you throw some light on PfMP?
Portfolio management is something PMI introduced in the year 2014. This is meant for the CXOs who need to take right decision in choosing the right projects. For example, if you put the ladder on a wrong wall, no matter how carefully you climb up, you will end up in a wrong destination. So the portfolio management analyzes the environment, the organization's strengths and limitations, and then choose the right set of projects upon which the company can make investments for the benefit of the stakeholders. So this particular certification helps the decision makers in terms of choosing right projects among the many proposals or ideas.
Yeah, I think that clarifies. This is more for leaders who are in strategic positions and dealing with some important projects at a enterprise level. They can go for PfMP. So thanks for clarifying on that. Now we also come across Prince2 certification. So I always wonder, what is the difference between PMP and Prince2 certification?
Oh, that's a very good question. Many professionals are struggling with it. Basically, who is offering this is the difference. PMP is a certification offered by Project Management Institute based at United States, while Prince2 model is being offered by UK-based APMG organization. The contents, if you look at it, more or less are similar. However, PMP is the one which is widely accepted across the world. Otherwise, I would say both has the same class and contents.
Wow. So it's just that the certifying body is different, however, the contents are same. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that as well. And now we'll switch gears and talk about Agile certifications, because Agile has come a long way, especially in the last decade. It has gained a lot of momentum, and every organization has set up some Scrum teams, Agile teams, so on and so forth. So, with regard to Agile certifications, what is the major difference between CSM and CSPO, and what kind of job profiles are they suited for?
Oh, that's a very good question. CSM stands for Certified Scrum Master. This is for the people who leads small teams in a range of, let's say, 3 to 8 team members on a smaller projects or part of a big project. While CSPO stands for Certified Scrum Product Owner. This is meant for the people who interface between customer and the project team. They typically own the product being developed by the project team, and they act as an interface and internal customer to the project team. So that's the difference. So we can say CSM is more people-centric, CSPO is more customer and product-centric.
Yep, that's amazing. I think you have very well articulated the difference. And now, how do you think these certifications are going to help someone in their career? Can you throw some light around that?
Oh, that's good, because you can see hundreds and thousands of certifications being offered across the world. Now, those are the gone days when, if you go through, let's say, a graduation or post-graduation, you really get the mastery of the subject to work in industries, and then you start working on it for decades and then retire. Now, the whole scenario is changing very fast in terms of technology development, in terms of customer preferences, in terms of changes in and around the environment. So, any professional need to keep up in terms of the developments happening around. So, the graduation or post-graduation gives you the foundational skill set. Afterwards, they need to constantly build, update, and transform themselves periodically. So these kind of certifications helps them to bring an updated knowledge base in various spectrum of domains and technologies. So it is very essential to be in touch with the market in terms of developments and evolution, for which these global certifications are useful. But at the same time, an individual should be careful what he is choosing. Okay, so he need to define a career roadmap, and then whatever the specific certifications that align to it, he need to pick up and then continually do it throughout his career.
I think that makes sense. Thank you for the insights, PS. What are some tips for project managers that you would like to share in order to run their projects successfully?
So your question was about a few tips for every project manager to be successful. I'll put it this way. There are 4 things every project manager should take care. Number 1, you should keep a right balance between systems and processes vis-a-vis people and stakeholders. Okay, I would call this art and science. Okay, you should have the right balance. Second aspect is every project manager should be very adaptive to the evolving technologies. Okay, so the project management technology can be a powerful enabler for managing a comprehensive projects. The third thing, every project manager should have this agile thinking, okay, the spirit of agile. And the fourth one, from a leadership perspective, every project manager should be a real servant leader. If they follow this, they can manage any projects successfully.
Yep, I think these are excellent tips. What are your most favorite projects? Probably you can speak about projects that you have run or that you have come across. Anything?
Okay, good. I love to answer this. I still cherish my first greenfield project done during 1988 and 90. When that particular project was completed, because of global economics and India opening up to the global economy, the whole project became a victim and we could not start the plant. So then from 1990 to 1996, for 6 years, we have to undertake a series of continuous process and other improvements to turn around the organization. We would have done maybe about close to 100 projects during that time. Now with that, the whole organization turned around. Even today, my first project outcome, the plant is running close to 120-130% capacity utilization. So I learned a lot about project management. Even today, I quote in my training sessions and my consulting engagements. So they are very green in my mind.
That's amazing, and thanks for sharing with us. What are your tips for students and young professionals, primarily our audience, who are aspiring to get into this project management domain?
Wonderful. The students, many of them, even the organizations think that project management is meant for experienced project professionals. Maybe it starts from 5-6 years after they step into corporate. I would say this is something they actually start doing it from their kindergarten stage. So managing project should start from their graduation. So when they learn early, they don't make costly mistakes when they start practicing. If they learn late, they need to do good amount of unlearning and relearning. So students, it is a right time for them to learn at least a few basics of project management. They can be really successful in their career.
I think you brought up a very interesting term, the costly mistake. And I also loved unlearning and relearning. Rather, it is better to begin at an early stage. So thank you for those amazing tips. Now, can you talk a little bit about your venture, the Proventures Consulting? What kind of training services that you guys offer?
Oh, thank you so much. Proventures is started with a very unique mission to be a 360-degree service partner for any enterprise, private, public or government. So we offer a complete range of project, program and portfolio management learning solutions, and also we provide the best of the breed software solutions around project, program and portfolio management. We offer consulting services to our corporate clients. For anything you talk about project management, Proventures will have a solution. Recently, we started addressing the student segment in terms of offering solutions or trainings and workshops around cAPM, Certified Associate in Project Management, then Microsoft Project and Primavera, so that they can begin their career as a good project team member or a planning engineer or a site coordinator. Like that, there are different roles. In the month of October, we are again starting one fascinating, a new, first of its kind in India, a 6 months program where we combine the best of the programs in 3 months, covering 6 modules, and we offer a 3 months internship program with job assistance. After 6, they learn everything being in an employee status. So we give them the real world experience of doing projects and learning by doing. This is something we just started now. We received a very positive response. So I can summarize it like this. Think of project management, think Proventures. We have a solution for every individual, every corporate needs and for their growth. So that's our commitment to the community.
That's fabulous. So, dear listeners, you'll find the link to Proventures Consulting in the episode description, and also you'll find link to PSR's LinkedIn profile in the episode description. All right. So thank you so much for accepting our invite despite your other commitments. So thank you so much, PS, for joining us and being part of the Guiding Voice journey.
Thank you, Naveen. It was a wonderful experience to share my last 38 years of journey into corporate sector, into learning now, and to address this to both young professionals as well as the fresh graduates and students. Thank you, everyone. I wish you all the best for your career and other endeavors. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
All right. So it was pleasure having you, Mr. PS. It was indeed an amazing conversation on the importance of project management and related conversations. So I'm sure our audience will get inspired by your journey and the insights and the tips that you have shared. Also, they might reach out to you for the training and certifications. So thank you once again.
Thank you.
All right. So, dear listeners, to know more about our speaker and the content, visit or follow us on social media. We are everywhere, be it Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Just search for The Guiding Voice. Or you can feel free to email us and we will be happy to share further details with you. All right. So it brings us to the trivia segment of today's episode. And today's trivia is about firmware. We often come across hardware and software, but we rarely know another thing which is lingering between hardware and software. It is nothing but firmware. The two main components in IT, the information technology world, are always heard of: hardware, software. But there is a lesser known grey component which is called as firmware. And firmware is nothing but the software which is stored in the hardware which cannot be modified very easily. So for those of you who play with BIOS and all, you must have heard about firmware. But firmware is very, very critical in order to run a computer. Interesting, isn't it? Have a wonderful time. Take care and be safe. Until next time, bye-bye.